Master Sword! Do I see the Master Sword?
You finally decided to return. Better late than never. Holy did you see that?
Hello friends and welcome back to ReddX, your source for the freshest daily cringe content anywhere on the internet. Promise, swearsies, it's just a fact and it's totally science. Go ahead and look it up. Today we are diving into r/Tales of Neckbeards, and if you couldn't tell from the title or the thumbnail or whatever, this is Linkbeard. If you couldn't tell, that means that I failed horribly. Something's gone terribly, terribly wrong, but yes, we are rolling into almost the final part of Linkbeard. This is part number 9. There are 10 parts in the story. If you've missed the previous parts, I did put like a little card or something that will take you to the playlist and you can peruse whatever parts you missed at your leisure. There will also be a compilation, some point in the far-flung future. I am hoping that Linkbeard gets some comeuppance, you know what I'm saying? He is not a very nice person overall, but he did get punched in the face in the last part, and I did feel kind of bad about that because that's not really the type of comeuppance that I want him to have. It seems like Akira kind of did it on accident, which is the other edgy boy in the group, but it turns out he has kind of redeemed himself. He's not really an edgy boy after all. I just threw a lot of shade on him because, first impressions and whatnot, but I'm a big enough man to admit that I might have been wrong about Akira. It seems that Linkbeard is the only true Neckbeard in this story. So let's go ahead, we'll get some plugs and disclaimers out of the way, and then we will dive right back in to some Tales of Neckbeard cringe. The Legend of Linkbeard, part number 9. But my Master Sword! Yep, that's all he's been gunning for this entire time. That and a little alone time with Princess Zelda, but I doubt that he's gonna get that. Anyways, greetings everyone. Hi, Tiny Hairy Potato. The potato is back again for the next part of this misadventure. So today, in this misadventure, my dad makes a much more prominent appearance. Like I mentioned briefly, my dad and the Dungeon Master are on good terms. As such, if Dungeon Master's having trouble around his house, my dad is happy to help him fix some stuff up, as long as Dungeon Master pays my dad in beer or some lunch. Oh, he's like a stand-in father figure for the Dungeon Master as well. That's beautiful. Props to your dad. Everybody needs an authority figure that they can have come and help them to fix things or figure out how to fix things. Usually, if it's something within the house, I send my wife. The only way you're going to get me to come over to your house is if it's something to do with the car. But I'll take a beer and a free lunch any day of the week. Earlier that week, there was a storm and half of a gum tree fell through DM's fence. Yeah, fixing the fence, I could do that easy enough. But again, my wife is probably the one that would actually volunteer to come do it. So my dad was in the backyard with some tools, fixing up the fence while the rest of us were inside, just chilling and partaking in small talk while waiting for everyone to turn up. Oh, go keep your dad some company. He's out there working hard, trying to earn some free beers, and you're just like all hiding inside. Nah. He's putting in some back-breaking labor. He deserves some company at the very least, or at least the offer of company. I don't know if company was offered, but it should have been. The topic revolved around what we were studying at uni, or TAFE, or what jobs we have. Ori was studying to be a personal trainer, and was talking about going to do his first Spartan race, which is basically a race around a huge obstacle course. My sister did it as well, about 1 year later, and she ended up with a huge bruise on her back and thigh from where she slipped and fell down a ramp. Is this like Ninja Warrior or something like that? Which is a ridiculous thing to think. I haven't seen that in years, but that's the only thing I can relate it to. Obstacle course. Yeah, it's Ninja Warrior, basically. Nina is a baker and works at a local bakery 5 days a week. It's a place that does a lot of gluten-free and vegan stuff. Up until this point, Nina has been bringing in lots of homemade goods for us to snack on during our games. Oh, bless. One of the best members to have at your tabletop group, the contributor. And she's a druid, isn't she? So yeah, Nina could join up anytime. As it turns out, she was testing some of her newer recipes on us. Yo, they got any weed in them? Ludo was currently in medical school, and was well on his way to becoming a neurosurgeon. The dude is a lot smarter than he looks, which is saying something since he already looked really smart to begin with. Neurosurgery, bro? That is something else. I can't even imagine it. How do people learn to do things like that? That's terrifying to me. But okay, props. Akira was a business major of some kind. I'm still not exactly sure how business major stuff works. He did try to explain, but I don't know, some things just go over my head. Point is, he enjoys it, and he is happy. Yeah, I don't know much about that either. Has to do with like running a company and stuff like this. But I run a company and I'm dumb as hell. Welcome to the ReddX Industries YouTube channel. DM is studying to be a high school history teacher. Considering how much both DM and I hated school, I still have no idea why he wanted to go back there and teach kids, but he does really like ancient history, specifically Aztec and Incan cultures. I asked him why he didn't get into archaeology, and he admitted that he's a bit too much of a little girl to spend hours in the sun. I respect that he actually admitted it. Oh, so it's really not about your dad coming over to fix the fence because he can't do it. It's about dad coming over because he doesn't want to do it. And if you could get your own repairman for a few beers and a free lunch, then yeah, that's cheap as hell. Come fix my fence. I got some beers for you.
Bender, drink that beer and drop the bottle on the ground. Very nice.
Get that robot some more beer.
Really, Dad spent $30 on materials for the $10 in beers? Because he's just trying to make a connection. You see? God, that's so sad. I don't know if it's true at all either. I just make stuff like this up. I don't know what's happening. But yeah, I definitely do get DM not wanting to be outside. Like I said, I'll fix a car. Basically anything else, not that into it. Linkbeard said he was studying to be a physicist, specifically a nuclear physicist. I honestly had no words. Maybe he was actually smart enough to be able to do that. Maybe his family had deep enough pockets to pay for that course. Maybe they took out a student loan. While student loans aren't as bad as they are in America, they can still be pretty bad depending on where you go. Yeah, and nuke school is like 4 years minimum, I'm pretty sure. If you sign up in the Navy as a nuke, you get like an 8-year contract because they want to train you and then make sure they get the training like applied to some stuff without you being like, oh, 4 years is up, I'm out. But there were a lot of weird kids in the nuke program. I'm kind of glad that I didn't make it. They totally said, oh wow, ASVAB score super high. You could totally do whatever you want. And then I went in and they're like, oh, you're colorblind? Here's 3 jobs. You pick from these. Whoopsie daisy. But it was all for the best. It all worked out. I'm sure Linkbeard could do it, but he's going to need to pull his head out of his ass a little bit in order to be successful at it. Anyway, as for our OP, I took a course in video games design. I had just finished an assignment where we had to take a video game and talk about their influences, how accurate said influences were, and why things were tweaked for video game adaptation. You should have done it on the Atari ET game. Everybody knows that's the best video game adaptation.
It's the video game that lets you pretend you're E.T.
Then we presented it in front of the class with a PowerPoint. I remember that my teacher made it clear that each person could only do 1 game per franchise. This was to eliminate like 15 presentations about Call of Duty and how accurate the battles were. Call of Duty, Call of Duty. I ended up doing mine on Bayonetta and talked about how accurate Bayonetta was as a witch and how biblically accurate the angels of Paradiso were. My experiences at uni for game design could be a whole other Neckbeard saga in themselves. Yeah, I'm sure that's a breeding ground if I've ever heard of one. But a relatively interesting one for me. While I haven't sat down to play Bayonetta, it's been recommended to me quite a few times. Maybe one of these days, I don't know. My backlog is just way too strong to add anything else into it at the moment, so I think it will remain a nice thought. Anyways, considering that not a lot of people know what really goes into game design, they did ask me a lot of questions about what a game designer actually did. And honestly, it felt like it was 50% menu flow, 30% documentation, 10% level design, 5% art, and 5% chugging energy drinks and trying not to lose your goddamn mind. But, you know, those percentages vary from game to game. Yeah, something like a fighting game, you probably take that last 5% and balloon it up to 50%, but the only energy drinks you could drink are Monster Energy because we're hardcore around here. We ain't bitch made, we're making Tekken, bro!
Monster Energy! Put it in your body and ask questions later. It's green, so it's nature.
Or Smash Brothers, but that's the beard of your choice, I feel. Anyway, Linkbeard seemed dismissive of what it was that I was doing. Really? Why would you choose to do something on Bayonetta? Shouldn't you have done something more, your style? You don't know a thing about my style, bro. I assume that he meant something like, Farmville. Or whatever Facebook game was popular at the time. Well, one of the other guys already took Silent Hill and Dead Space and Dead Island and Left 4 Dead. Plus, there aren't a lot of single-player fighting games where the protagonist is a woman. Yeah, but she's over-sexualized, said Linkbeard. Women hate sexualized female characters in games. Yeah, as a female, Linkbeard would definitely know this. How about the power fantasy? You know what I'm saying? A lot of dudes out there like feeling like they can rip a building in half. I'm sure there's a lot of chicks out there that like feeling sexy from time to time, you know? This is just Linkbeard being offended on behalf of another group in order to win brownie points. And it's pathetic anytime that I see it. I kind of just shook my head because I had just done an assignment about how accurate Bayonetta was as a modern day witch. OP retorts, but she's a witch. Witches use sexuality as a weapon to assert themselves because back in medieval Europe, women were 100% controlled by men in a patriarchal society, and the thought of a woman being independent was scary. We started to get into a heated debate about witches for about 10 minutes until DM got us to shut the hell up and start the game. Nah, let him go. If OP can hurt Linkbeard's feelings, then he'll just sit and sulk for the rest of the game, and we really won't have to deal with him. But I guess 10 minutes is too long to wait. Everybody's standing there just waiting on you. You gotta hit him with both barrels right out of the gate. You're fat and socially inept, Linkbeard, and then he's like, oh, now I'm sad. There you go. Mission accomplished. So we were in the Korok village to talk to the great Deku tree to see if he knew where we could find the queen. Also, Linkbeard wanted to have a go at the Master Sword because of course he did. Hell, we could see the Master Sword in a stone pedestal. Oh DM, why did you do this? He's just gonna freak out about it for the next 3 hours. Dungeon Master described the scene. All the buildings in the village are made of twisted roots of trees and other shrubbery. Not one of you are small enough to be able to fit inside one of these houses, but the child you save could possibly go inside one. The great Deku tree is... do you see the Master Sword? Asked Linkbeard. Huh? In the same tone as Samuel L. Jackson asking a motherfucker if they speak English. Do you speak it?
English, motherfucker! Do you speak it? Yes!
Linkbeard asked again. Master Sword! Do I see the Master Sword?
You finally decided to return. Better late than never. Holy shit, did you see that?
Well, yeah. It's right there. Anyway, I pull out the Master Sword. Oh, Linkbeard, you are just one of a kind, ain't ya? Everyone looked at Linkbeard with a mix of annoyance and disbelief. The Master Sword was created by the goddess Hylia for the Hero of Time to wield in her service. I can only imagine that Linkbeard thought that since he was Hylian and looking for the Queen to save Zelda, that he would be able to wield the sword. DM took a deep breath and looked Linkbeard dead in the eyes when he uttered the words that all tabletop RPG players fear. Are you sure about that? Take a minute, maybe wind it back. It seems like a good idea, but you have just been warned in so many words. But Linkbeard didn't seem to give a single damn.
Yes, I pull out the Master Sword.
Well, since the Master Sword is protected by magic and is not meant to be wielded by anyone except the hero, I just sat back and waited to see what Dungeon Master was gonna do to punish Linkbeard for doing something so stupid. Dungeon Master flipped through some papers behind his screen, and then he rolled some dice. "Alright," said DM calmly. "I want to see 3 strength saving throws." Oh boy. Linkbeard looked annoyed, but did as he was told. He rolled okay, nothing that bad, but also nothing very good. Dungeon Master nodded slowly and scribbled down something behind his screen. "Okay, I want 3 Constitution saving throws." Where's this going, friend? Can't we just strike him down with a bolt of lightning and call it a day? Linkbeard was starting to look even more annoyed, but managed to make okay rolls for those checks as well. We all waited with bated breath for Dungeon Master's decision as he himself started to roll some dice, while humming to himself like a sadistic bastich. After what felt like forever, Dungeon Master had a somber look on his face as he described the following events. "Death, death and destruction." Despite how much Linkbeard tried, he simply couldn't pull the Master Sword from the stone. It was stuck firmly inside. Furthermore, it sapped the life out of him, knocking him back down to just 1 HP. The only one that had seemed surprised by this was Linkbeard. He looked like he was going to flip the table in an attempt to rush Dungeon Master and strangle him.
Why am I down to 1 HP?
"Because actions have consequences," said Dungeon Master. It reminded me of someone scolding an angry, yapping chihuahua. It hurts if they bite, but you could technically punt the thing across an AFL field if you really had to. "Besides, we have all established that only the hero would be able to take the sword. No one here is the hero."
Yeah, but I'm the closest to the hero in the group. I should be able to take the Master Sword.
You think God is just going to be like, yeah, close enough? No, we are looking for 100% accuracy. As you have just admitted, you are not the hero. Close, but no cigar. I don't know how many ways you could possibly explain that. So DM simply says, "No." So, who talks to the Deckentry first? Asked DM, much to the horror of Linkbeard. I love that. "No, moving on." He didn't seem to understand that the Master Sword in this game was more of a cursed item to us. If I had given it a real-world equivalent, I'd say it was like lava. It looks cool, but you will die if you decide to go and handle it. How about throwing a water balloon into it and making a giant explosion? That's a cool thing to do with lava, but not really, because if you get hit by a fleck of lava, it's gonna hurt. And maybe it would just turn into rock. I'm not really sure how that works, but yeah, I don't screw with lava either. So, we just ignored Linkbeard and went to talk to the Great Deku Tree. We got some good information about both the whereabouts of the Queen and even the Yiga clan that was trying to assassinate her and her baby. We had already talked about taking out or thinning the entire Yiga clan. None of us were too excited about the possibility of killing off an entire clan, all except Linkbeard, of course, who decided that he wanted to be genocidal since the Yiga clan had killed his family and made him an orphan and, probably kicked his puppy or whatever. Once we got the information we needed, we talked to the Koroks, did some trading, and these guys healed us for free.
Oh great, now I can go try to grab the Master Sword again.
You wait for it, bro. I know it's coming. Dungeon Master built off the maracas thing that Hestu uses in Breath of the Wild, and they used instruments to heal us, which was kind of cute. It's silly. Yeah, why not? It's forest magic, bro. I ain't gotta explain shit. When we were done, the Great Deku Tree had a Korok guide us out of the Lost Woods, so we wouldn't get attacked by the Stalfos, those nasty skellies, and of course the Skull Kids. We were able to return the child to the family and collect our very small amount of reward money, and spent a little bit of time RPing with the merchants to see if they could give us any information about anything related to either our main quest or some side quest stuff. The group didn't gain any useful information, but the merchants did offer the chance to travel with them for some time. Aw, hell yeah! Slow ride! Take it easy! You tell me where I'm going, that's fine. The majority of us decided to travel with them while we figured out if we were going to the mountains or down to the desert to try and take out the Yiga. We all had valid reasons for wanting to go to either location. Some of us were indifferent. Yeah, that's me. Linkbeard was still angry that he couldn't get the Master Sword. I really didn't care. I was letting my character develop a softer side by bonding with the children. Halfway through this discussion, we heard swearing coming from the backyard. Uh-oh. A few moments later, my dad walked in with his hand bleeding pretty badly. Everyone was shocked that he was here. No one but DM and I knew that he was out there. God, I feel so bad for the dad. He's just used and abused. Of course I'm gonna feel bad for the dad. I'm a dad. I get it. He's trying to form a bond, and the kids are just like, yeah, stay out there and fix the fence. We're playing some freaking tabletop. I don't know if that's actually the dynamic, but it's just how it makes me feel inside. Go hug your father right now. He's a good guy.
So, where do you keep the Band-Aids?
Asked my dad. As it turned out, my dad had finished the fence and was packing up. However, he ended up slicing his thumb pretty bad on a stray piece of metal while he was cleaning up. Dungeon Master and Ludo helped my dad out with his bloody hand, but he still ended up going to the ER to get some stitches. Yeah, beer and a lunch ain't gonna pay for that. He's in the hole. God, he's the most sympathetic character in the whole thing. I love him. Dads who are there for their families, dads who are there for their friends get like infinite positivity points from me. He can do no wrong. Let me be very clear. Do you want me to come with you? OP asked. See, that's a good one. And then, of course, he'll say no, but you go anyways, because that's what a good child would do, right? I have to make sure you're okay. Let me drive. But, of course, I don't think OP does that at all. I'm just giving you some handy hits for life, really. But Dad says,
Nah, I'll be fine,
he said as he was leaving.
You kids have fun with your game, and don't do anything that I used to do while we played D&D in the Navy.
What did you used to do? Asked Ludo.
Get drunk and beat each other up by the halfway point of the game,
said my dad.
Anyway, when I'm done at the ER, I'll be at the pub. Call me when you're done.
Oh, he's such a good guy. And he was in the Navy. It's amazing how just characters can come out of the woodwork and rocket to the top of my favorite characters list in 2 sentences. I still think you should have gone with him, OP, but what's done is done, I suppose. When my dad was gone, Linkbeard scoffed.
It figures he's like that.
Now, I'm fiercely protective of my family, and Linkbeard's tone really rubbed me the wrong way. What is that supposed to mean?
Some meathead that joined the Navy and only knows hard labor,
said Linkbeard. I think it was a rhetorical question, Linkbeard. She hands him the shovel and he just starts to dig.
I bet he only ever had government employment and doesn't know anything about the real world.
Oh, the irony. I rolled my eyes in disgust. So my dad grew up as a farm boy with all his brothers and sisters right up in far north Queensland. It's basically Australia's version of Florida, but with more poisonous snakes and spiders and less guns. My dad also had a very long working life. From what I've been told and remember from my childhood, my dad has worked as a farmer, worked in the Navy, drove delivery trucks, owned his own pooling and fencing company, and now works for Sydney Trains. He is one of the most hardworking and down-to-earth people I know. And yes, Linkbeard, he will be protected at all costs. My dad has a pension from the government, I said calmly. He's never gonna have to pay any medical bills ever again for as long as he lives. Oh yeah, okay, they're in Australia. I forgot about that part. So he gets free medical care. Hey, great job. You won out with the beard. Oh, it's just not like that in the US or the Philippines for that matter. You gotta pay for your own stuff. So yeah, he'll never have to pay any medical bills again for as long as he lives. Because he's in the Navy, his funeral is going to be 100% covered. And my mom is going to have a sizable life insurance payout if he dies before her. My dad is set for life because of smart decisions and the Navy.
Yeah, well, anyone that works for a government institution is just a cog in the machine.
Oh yeah, Linkbeard. Rage against the machine, bro. I ain't never gonna get a job. I'm gonna live in my parents' basement forever because I'm raging against the machine. Whatever you have to tell yourself, man. Ludo took particular offense to that statement. Medical professionals work for the government, you idiot. Don't you go to see doctors every now and then when you get sick? Well, that seemed to stump Linkbeard. Like he didn't think that the government extended beyond the doo-doo heads in Canberra. Thanks for the pronunciation. I would have never got that right. Perhaps he thought all hospitals were just a completely different entity that didn't get some kind of government funding like they are in the Philippines or the US. I was also like 90% sure that the uni Linkbeard was attending was some kind of public university as well, or at least got some kind of government funding. Linkbeard seemed to stumble over his words.
Yeah, well,
Anarchy!
Anarchy! I don't even know what that means, but I love it!
Yeah, it looks great on paper. It's a bit harder in practice. Anyway, Nina said rather loudly, are we going to the mountains or the desert? Yeah, getting back to the real questions. We continued on with the caravan. Linkbeard continued to be moody and disinterested in the NPCs, finally, who were offering a lot of information about where we were going and what we could do there. They suggested that we go to the Rito village, which Nina wanted to do since it was where she grew up, and then we could decide where to go from there. Once we figured out what we were going to do, we wrapped things up for the day. Everyone seemed to be a little annoyed at Linkbeard, or more annoyed than usual, as the case may be. He seemed to sense the mood, and scuttled out of the house like some kind of demented fat cockroach. When he was gone, we all gave the DM the look. The disappointed parent look. I know, said DM. He's very... okay, he's a dick. He said a lot of really trash things, and a lot of his opinions are pretty garbage. I'm just really trying to help him get out of his neckbeard ways. Sometimes you gotta cut the cord. We see this in Unfortunately just yesterday. You can't fix someone who doesn't want to be fixed, as I've said many times before. And it's definitely not up to you to fix him. You tried. That's it. Ori, put his hands on DM's shoulders and spoke some sage advice.
DM, some beards can't be saved.
Some beards can't be shaved. Nina agreed. Yeah, look, apart from his weird obsession with becoming Link, he's an average player. It would suck to kick someone, but if you guys aren't super close friends, then really, what are you losing? I, of course, was in full agreement with Ori and Nina, still remembering the lolly incident. Look, if you want him to keep coming, okay. But just so you know, my character is gonna start being more hostile towards that asshole. DM nodded in agreement, and we just kinda left it at that. I could tell the Dungeon Master was very conflicted. His savior complex was being called into question, and he needed to decide if he should keep working on Linkbeard or cut the cord in favor of the game. And most importantly, our friendship. Well, let's see, you're weighing one person's enjoyment against the enjoyment of like 4 or 5 other people. It seems like a pretty clear-cut equation to me, doesn't it? I think the fact that he's an average player is the weakest reason to kick him out of the game. Like, you could be the worst player in the world, but as long as you're open-minded, willing to learn and try new things, and of course not insult people's fathers or choices of work, then you could probably fit your way in, you know? But Linkbeard just has no interest in doing any of those things. He is the worst, not just because of that, but also outside of the game activities, such as hitting on Nina, whose boyfriend is sitting right there, or requesting that OP draw some lolly Zelda pictures and things like that. So yes, disruptive in-game, disruptive out-of-game, it's over, bro. And it almost is over. We will get into part 10 within the next couple of days. I saw that a bourgeois beard just got posted, so I'm probably going to get into that tomorrow. And then I talked to the character consultancy, Anonymous Griper, and we decided we're going to get some slime beard from her in here as well. Kind of where World War Weeb would be slotted, but since that's coming out slow, again, no rush, but I got to fill in the cracks. That's why we've been seeing more one-offs than usual, but regardless, that's just all behind-the-scenes stuff. I know you probably don't care none too much about that. What's most important is that you enjoyed the episode. If you did, I hope that you'll like, comment, and or subscribe. Yes, indeed. Maybe share the video around if you should like. I would appreciate that so very much. We've also got a bunch of links in the description, podcast, playlist, plugs, yeah, Amazon affiliate link, Teespring, mine and my wife's channel, Mr. and Mrs. ReddX. She made a New Year's resolution that we're going to make more content for that, so I'm going to push for it. Let's get this show on the road is what I'm saying, and you guys could help out with that. We've also got my social medias, of course, Twitter, Discord, Facebook. Come on through, say hello. We've also got my Patreon and my gorgeous, wonderful, beautiful, generous patrons. I would like to thank them as I do every video, so thank you very much. Robert Waits, Baron Von Waggy Pants, Jarhead Jerry, Oorah, Logan Wolf, River Jerry, Conrad Ingy, Jerry Four Fingers, aka Dr. Trips, aka Warlock Jerry, aka Grateful Jerry. Regardless, Happy New Year, ReddX, your fam and your fans. Cooler than a polar bear's toenails. Andre 3000. Captain Cloud Jerry. Honk Honk. Aaron W. Twisted Child. Cinnamon Susie. For Auld Lang Syne. It is a new year. Fire Drink. Giggle Jerry. Hee hee. Iriri. The most different Jerry spelling. Happy New Jerry. Jarry the Pirate. Rogue. Silent Revolver. The OG Jerry. Y'all know that guy. Becca. Jerry Kitsune. Little Lone Wolf. Matthew Simmons. Satori. 211 Jerry. The Return of Jerry. A bundle of Jerrys. They're coming for your toes. Look out. A Jerry, a Juggling Jerry's, a Justy Jargonian Jerry, Alunia, Althea, Anunnaki, Assassin Pug Jerry, Bang Bang, Atheist Jerry, he's so euphoric, Aurora Wildheart, Grizzly, Bailey Joy, Bearded Jerry, watch out for that guy, Bitch Gremlin, Blade the Hero, Blameless Fish, Blip Blip Jerry, Camille Sarah, Commander J Tank, Dennis Dayton, Dinosaur Nightlight, Disposable Waifu, Aaron Lennox, Frozen Over Studios, Go Go Jerry Rangers, you mighty bearded marble rolling Jerry Rangers, or, Mr. J, that guy. Gypsy, hey Dream BR, have a minty new year, Jerry's. Aw, too fresh. Heathcliff, I'm Slim Jerry, yes, I'm the real Jerry. All you other Slim Jerrys are just imitating. So, what the real Slim Jerry, please, sub to Patreon. Oh, you did. Okay, cool, got it. Itchy nuts, just scratching, bro. Up him, MJ Crisp. Yes, you have to say the whole thing. JM Coon, Jennifer Schaefer, Jerry Blacktail, Jerry Bowberry, Banana Fan of Fairy, Fee Fi Mo Mary, Jerry. I like it's Mary. Yeah, Mary, New Year. Is that right? Jerry the small Jerry to the other Jerry's, and that's a Jerry fact. Jerry the outlaw mother trucker, Hong Kong. John Hero, John Jerry, Jingleheimer Schmidt. Hey, that's my name too. Jolly Black Jerry. Simbufa, because if you're boofing is free. KJW, Kajow. Crewhee, Miss Monday, Lord Jerryo, leader of the Thunder Jerrys.
Milady Jerry Dax. It's Jerry ribbed for her pleasure, even though she won't appreciate you.
Jackets roll. Melgar the Destroyer, Mr. Carrot 797, God of Veggies. Natari, Nightmare Jerry. Oh no, Origami Jerry Steve. Congrats on the marriage. Panda Prince Jerry Bamboo. Patreon Saint of Chicken Nuggets, Saint Jerry. Ramen. Phantom of the Pies. Jerry Kids and Jerry Beth. Ramtide Lacrimates. Rose Jerry Miller. TSM Kirby. Sarita the Lolita. Saucy Octopus. Welcome to the fold. Serrated Ash. Staples, aka Jerry Yeet. Stephanie Goodner. Synaptic Boomstick. Brilliant Tomago. Teddy the Police. 10-Ton Monster. The One True Fusky. Tom.
What is the Jerry on the inside that counts?
Church. Treeberg, Vigilante Justice, Viking Jerry. We locked Marble Jerry in the attic to keep him from wandering around, but don't worry, they got chicken tendies up there. Oh, good. I was worried. What does the beard say? Will X. Comrade Mooney Kira. You're a wizard, Jerry. Redwind Goose says honk. Jerry, Atrick, Naga Viper, Cy Jerry, the Cyborg, Saints Blessing, a normal Jerry. A Jerry without his marble, still a Jerry, but what is a marble without its Jerry? Maybe still a marble, but tree falls in the forest, you know what I'm saying? Hunter of Jerry's, the Marvel thinks tasty, it is Tom. Admiral T, Tank, Alunia, Amara, Atomic Jerryzilla, AZ, Babsy Coon, Banished Knight, Barbushka's Irradiated Jam, Broken Spine, Horseradish, Cake Jerry, the original different Jerry, California Jerry Girl, yeah, Canadian Links, Chevron 7 Locked, Chia, Jerry, Chris Meska, Cinnamon Bunny Dog, Corporal Admiral, Furry Warrior Woo Jerry, Cryptides, Cuba Jerry, Defon Jerry.
Did you ever hear the tragedy of Darth Thomas the Wise? I thought not. It's not a story that the Jerry would tell you.
Dopamine Dangerous. Overdose. Electrical Fennec. Yeah, that's him. Ghost of Alpha. Give him both inches. He cannot. HFT Mayor, Holy Berry Jerry, Hydra Jerry, Jeffrey, my name is Jeffrey, Tom and Jerry versus Happy New Year's Weird Apocalypse. I don't know why that turned into a song. Jerry and the Subaru SDI, Jerry Binks, Misa like your name, Jerry's evil twin brother, Terry, Jerry Aldo Rivera, check out that mustache, Jerry Bean, yum, Jerry Roxas, yay, Jerry role-playing game, fun, Judge Jerry and Executioner, King Tom, Smasher of Jerry Zillas, now we gotta fight. Kitskind, Crafty Kitty Cat, Life of a Guardian, Little Ann Woods, Lucia Lovecraft, maybe next time, Midnight Sun, Milkfed Gimp, Miss Duchess, Not Invisible Angel, I see you, One-Legged Jerry hopping into a new year. Oh, so glad you made it, friend. Organic Cam, Ghosty, Raptor Art, ReddX, Dive into Jerry. It's the best slogan. She's my Jerry Pie, go drink a Mountain Dew with a big surprise. Smitty Warman Yegerman Jensen, oh, Schmitty, he's related to Jeffrey. Snary, the Snom Jerry, Spoony the Rogue, Spoopy Scary Jerry Tons. It's a little out of season, but I'll allow it. Steampunk Ellie, the Necro Jerry Con, the original Jerry, not to Infinite Jerry and beyond. Definitely. Tuna Fish Jerry, Aquarium Escapee, Zestaboo Jerry, Tom Promise Jerry swears. Oh no, bad Jerry, Tom be a good boy, no swear. It's just fact, soy science, dogs will go crazy. Go ahead, look it up. I would also like to thank my $1 patrons, beautiful people that they are. Thank you guys all so much for supporting on the Patreon. My goodness, it is helping the channel to grow, helping to pay for my editor, helping me to get some new merch, also paying for the podcast services which we have. So the Patreon, definitely integral to this channel. Thank you guys so much for participating. I do hope some other people will consider signing up, but if you can't do it right now, don't sweat it too hard, friends. I just appreciate you coming on through, hanging out with me, and I hope that you come on back and hang out with me again tomorrow, because really, the views is how my beard stays so buttered. In order to do so, you need to keep yourself safe out there, wash your hands, but also take some time out and do something that you personally enjoy today. Maybe like, watching some more ReddX videos. That'd be cool. Always remember, friends, that you are loved, you are worthy, and you definitely deserve it. I shall see you in the next one, and until then, friends, bye-bye.